Bienvenidos, ¿cómo estás? Welcome to another early morning Sunday show coming to you from Puerto Rico. I took my whole music group and I brought it with me to Puerto Rico because I was going on, taking some vacation time, and the last thing I wanted was to be without music. So I had it reassembled down there. This is the stuff I do. It's all about giving and making sure that I'm in a comfortable surrounding as I did this. And I also brought with me Cat. Hold on. There we go. And here is Cat. Okay. Yep. He just came in from outside, so he's a little colder, but I think he wants to go back out, and he's going to be extremely a pain in the ass right now. Okay. Can we settle in? Yeah. It's time. It's time to show you some records. I've been enjoying just a nice week, sunshine, waves, ocean, seeing a lot of good friends, eating good food, rice and beans. Can't go wrong with that. So I'm really enjoying myself. Whenever I always say Puerto Rico is my happy place. It's just so many good memories when I was working there and the people. So really, really happy to be. Okay, now, are we ready there? Okay, I think Cat is kind of settled in. So let us begin. So I got some neat stuff. I always say I have neat stuff, right? You may go, well, that wasn't very cool at all. You mean I just spent 20 minutes of my life watching this? And that's what you showed? Wow. Oh, well. Neat to me. Some of this I've had for a while. I'm so far behind on showing things. It really is incredible. And we're just going to start off way behind with, look at that. This is the White Stripes. This came out last year. I got it. It's my Third Man special edition of their very first album that came out, their self-titled album from 1999. So it's the 20th anniversary. And so Third Man Record put out this really nice kind of set on this. I'm going to try and show you some of this. It was going to be a lot more easier till I have company here. That's the inside. These are the slots for a book and for the album. Very nice, isn't that? Also, we have, hold on. I'm trying to do this so the cat doesn't get all over everything. We got a little white vinyl. We have a little red vinyl. You see, oh yeah, I know you're going to hit me in the face now. What they were doing, so what this has, it has the original album on there, it has outtakes, and it has some live material. And then this was really neat. This was a nice size book that came with it. Yeah. Meow, 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 meow. Okay, there we go. And, oh, they wrote the little card, and, yep, lick my face, no. And, I can't see him. He's trying to climb up my face. Look how young they were. Matt, there we go, Jack White and Meg. And so there's a lot of neat pictures. They have receipts of different things. And why are we hitting my face? Oh, God, Cat, come on. Stop it. I'll shove you off. Nobody knows how to talk to children. It's just very, very nice. I'd show you this a lot more, but obviously I am totally not being allowed to do anything like that right now, and I'm going to have to shove you off. That was fun. It's great. I enjoy the White Stripes. I have it in the background. I put them in the background once before. Sorry for you long-time viewers. Tina, Pat, you've seen it before, Lucille, but really neat. This was a great box set. Third Man Records. The Third Man, they send out 4 packages a year, and they're always very high quality, really, really nice stuff. And that one's a beauty. In the background today, we have playing here Amadou and Miriam. And we also have the album from Amadou and Miriam. The album is called Welcome to Mali, and in 2008 this received a Grammy nomination for Best World Music. Uh, a Someone from the VC recommended this, and I apologize. I can't remember who, and I need to do much better writing down because so many of you recommend stuff to me. Dave, local bandography. I mean, you're always working on spending my money. You're like awesome at it. But all of you, you send me in suggestions that I always go check out, and I can't buy them all. But I did get this one. I really liked it. So Amadou. It's Amadou Bago Cove, something like that. He was born in 54, and then Miriam Dumbia was born in 58. So they've been around a little bit. Well, what happened is Amadou, he went blind when he was 16 years old. Miriam, she went blind when she was 5 due to measles. So these two met at the Mali School of the Blind. And in 1980 they married. In 83 they began performing together. Now Amadou had already been performing. He started actually in 74, but in 83 they began performing together as a couple. And this album came out, and it did win them a Grammy nod. Hey, Amadou, he was influenced by Hendrix, by Zeppelin, by their guitar work, and you can hear it in there. But I would say this is a little more pop music, shall we say, African blues. There's electronic in here, along with world beat. So it's not what I normally listen to, which is really hard funk. But this guy plays, and he plays a really good guitar, and there's times he just shreds the heck out of that guitar. There's some great guitar playing, but then there's other things that have more of a pop aspect. It is just a delight of an album to listen to. It came out in 2008, and I'm really enjoying it a lot. And it came with the free CD. I'm trying to see if there's anything else with it. Not really. The label's just nothing special with it. As Vinyl Douche would say, delicious black vinyl. Speaking of Vinyl Douche, his last video he didn't offer meat sticks. I'm going to point that out, and I had some to show. Okay, when I was at my local guy at Radio Wasteland, I saw this. Armageddon. You know, Kat, you are just so much in the way here. Armageddon. Don't know anything about it, but it has the name Armageddon. So what is this, was my thought. And then it has a nice inner sleeve on here. Oh, now we're going to clean ourselves on A&M. Nothing special with A&M. This is they're from Britain, and they played from 74 to 76, so they did not play very long. It's hard rock and prog rock. When I listened to it at times, I thought, God, it kind of sounds like Yes in there, but yet there's some really hard rock aspects to it. 4 guys got together. Bobby Caldwell, he came from Captain Beyond. Keith Relf, he actually fronted the Yardbirds and played for Renaissance. Then 2 other players came from the group Steamhammer and Renaissance. Well, they all got together, and Keith Relf was putting this together, and he told these guys, well, let's go to L.A. Let's go to L.A. and form a band, because obviously in the mid-70s, that's where you go, kind of where the action was at. And so they did. Well, one of them happened to know Peter Frampton. So they get with Peter Frampton's manager, and he signs them, and he's going to manage them. So that's very exciting. And they put together this album. Now, The problem is they only did 2 live shows. Their management just wasn't working for them whatsoever. And there was a slight problem. They're in LA, and there was a problem of drugs getting in the way. Shocker, shocker. And so there was no promotion for this album. So it came out. Actually, the DJs were liking it, but it sank. It just didn't do anything, and the group disbanded after one album. So Armageddon, really, it was Armageddon for them. It just kind of all blew up and nothing happened. But if you like the hard rock and with the prog stylings, this would be a very good album. I listened to it, and I really, really enjoyed it, and it was a kind of a cool group. Neat cover. So that was fun. Barnes & Noble? Barnes & Noble? Really? Still Barnes & Noble? Yeah, it's going to go on forever. This is Dexter Gordon, as you can read, and I actually read it right. How about that? And it's called Take the A Train. This came out originally in 1989 on a CD. It's from a 1967 concert that Dexter Gordon performed in Denmark. Dexter Gordon was a big man, 6'5". Can you imagine that, towering over the stage, 6'5", when so many musicians are kind of small? Take the A Train is from a Duke Ellington song that he plays. He only plays 3 songs. One is But Not For Me, which is a George Gershwin song, Duke Ellington, and then For All We Know is from Coots and Lewis. So, this was his, self-imposed exile in Europe because he didn't like what was happening in the States. So on here, he had Kenny Drew on piano, Niles Olsted Pedersen on bass, and Albert Tootie Heath on drums. What's kind of neat on Dexter Gordon is, as he would play, he put in what he called musical quotes. So he's just playing along, and all of a sudden, you hear Happy Birthday coming out, or all of a sudden you hear something from a Wagnerian opera. I mean, he just played. He felt that a musician should communicate with the audience and be part of the audience and bring them in. So you have Miles Davis, who's turning around, doing his own thing, ignoring the audience. You have Dexter Gordon, who's saying, hey, you guys are important. Come on in. We're going to have some fun here. I mean, if there was lyrics, he'd say the lyrics to the song before they would even play. He believed in bringing them in. The other neat thing on Dexter Gordon is he was an actor. And he acted in movies from the 50s to the 80s. And in the 80s, he was up for an Academy Award for lead actor for a movie Round Midnight. So, I mean, he was doing a lot of different things. So, very neat. This was fun. I got it at the Barnes & Noble. It has 67 concerts just sitting in the vaults. So they released it in 89 and, of course, redid it. So, really happy to get that. And actually, I could play a sample, which is the most amazing thing. Then we had this. It's kind of an interesting packaging. I gotta see if I can open it. I always forget how to open. There we go. Mudhoney. And this is called Digital Garbage. And it opens like that. Isn't that fun, huh? And then it opens like that. And then it opens like... Nope, it don't open anymore. So Mudhoney, this album's from 2018, but they actually started back in 1988. They're the fathers of grunge, you could say. A Seattle band came out of the remnants of Green River after, I believe it was their lead singer committed suicide, and they really, really inspired grunge. And I bought the early Mudhoney, and then I lost track of them. Well, this is their 10th album. This thing really rocks. I mean, it is hard charging, but it's a different kind of album. On here, It's an angry album. I seem to be showing a lot of angry albums. And what they're talking about, and again, I think this is their 10th album, it's the cautions of the digital age and what goes on when we have tons of unfettered information being thrown at us. Stuff we don't know if it's a fact, if it's fiction, but we take it to be truth. And it happens all the time, and we see it. And really, it does make life harder, and it brings a lot of discord to us because you don't know, but it's just all this information. And so it gets some political politics and stuff going on, but really good album. I mean, just a hard rock. There's just fuzz guitar happening in here, kind of a fuzzy punk sludge to it. Yeah, it's just neat stuff. I truly enjoyed this album. I bought it last year, getting around to showing it finally. And after I bought that, I thought, well, heck, why not buy their live album? And so this is the live album. It came out. It's live in Europe, LIE. Live in Europe. Again, just fun stuff. They play a lot of their past hits on here. Hard charging. This thing came out in 2018 also. So just a couple of the newer Mudhoney releases. It was good to hear them. I actually like their stuff now better than I like the stuff that they did back in the late 80s and early 90s. Is that okay to say? Am I going to be excommunicated or something? I don't know. Talking about great music. Let's talk great music. Eddie Floyd, Knock on Wood. This is a Vinyl Me Please release, and I used it instead of a selection of the month. I got this because this is an important album. Now, Eddie Floyd, he's still around, born in 1937 in Montgomery, Alabama, but he spent his life growing up in the city of Detroit, really when Detroit was at a renaissance, when Detroit was great. He began working, he was going to be a songwriter, and actually wrote a couple songs for Carla Thomas. Well, she really liked it, and Carla Thomas was working for Stax, so she brought attention to him, to Stax, and they signed him on as a writer in 1965. And his whole purpose was to come in and write songs for people. Well, he wrote the song "Knock on Wood," and he wrote it with Steve Cropper, and they wrote it in the what's the name of that hotel? Lorraine Motel in Memphis. And I mention that because it was the motel that Martin Luther King would be assassinated in a few years later. A little historical significance there. So they wrote this song for Otis Redding, Knock on Wood. Well, they wound up recording it, and it went big. It went huge. Now, Otis Redding did it. I believe Carla Thomas did it. Different people have recorded it, but Eddie Floyd had the definitive version. And it had everything that you want in a Stax album. I mean, there was, it was easy to dance to. It had a great beat and lots of horns. Towering horns. This was Stax at its best. It really was. I mean, it screamed. What a great introduction for Eddie Floyd to come in. It's really important. If you love Stax music, this is Stax at its peak, at its best, and it was the first of 7 albums that Eddie Floyd did for Stax, and really that was a great pickup. Something I grabbed. My local rec store has been bringing in these, you have from out of Europe, all these bootlegs. from concerts and stuff that they're releasing there. And this is from Uskadu, and it's a 1965 concert they did for Spin Radio. They just done Flip Your Wig, so it has a lot of their stuff. Uskadu was at a peak at this time. The problem is this recording is muddy. It is hard to hear. The drums are too loud in the mix, and the guitars are just kind of pushed down, and just really they're not defined, which is a shame, because again, these guys they were breaking up, they were falling apart. They only lasted a couple more years. I think they broke up in '87, but they'd done New Day Rising and Flip Your Wig, so they were at this peak in their career. But just hard to hear. I like live albums because I like to hear how they sounded, what they were doing, and I just wish this one was a little more clear. Then I bought, my last couple was the Bull Brummels. I knew nothing of the Bull Brummels. This was Barnes and Noble. This is from my local record store, a promo copy that I bought at my local store. Brummels came out of San Francisco. They formed in '64, lasted till '69, broke up, and in '74, '75 they got together and did this album. So this is the second version of them. This is the first version. Triangle is their fourth album that they put out, and many consider it to be their classic. It has tinges of psychedelia, which, look at that, yeah, wow, looks kind of psyche, doesn't it? And they were found by a DJ. The DJ's name was Sylvester Stewart. He became known as Sly Stone. He found them and produced their first couple singles, which really didn't do anything. But then they got signed on. The name Bull Brummels, it comes from the Regency era. There was a guy in England named Beau Brummel, and he was an English dandy. They say they chose the name because they wanted to have the records right after the Beatles. So you're in the record store, thumb, looking Beatles. Oh, Beau Brummels, what's this? I'll pick that up. Think about B-E-A-U. Beatles, B-E-A-T. Marketing. That is marketing for all you young kids. Remember that. That's what you do. So they got my cat. So they have put that in. So you found them next to the Beatles. I think that's pretty good. In this one, they began to incorporate more fantasy type lyrics into their music, and it was a little more surreal landscapes that they were doing. See, the record company gave them some freedom, so they go, well, we got some freedom. Let's just go all out, and so they did. Basically, they're like a folk rock group. That's kind of where they were at. Nothing hard rock and hard charge. And there's a lot of people who really love the Bull Brummels. They're okay for me. I can't say that I would throw them on all the time, but they made some important music. This album here went to 197. Yes, it cracked the top 200 for 2 weeks. And then disappeared. But they became very big. An underground kind of band. They were popular. So then they got together. All the original members got together in '74, and they did another album. And this one really is much more country rock. Definite feel to it in there. Record label, well, nothing big. And so it was their. They went to Nashville and they recorded this. Get country rock songs. By the time it was done, one of the members had already left, and so they just kind of, that was it. The Bull Brummels broke up. But, interesting. It was there. I had this one. Thought I'll find out what it is. The old blind buy. I don't know what I'm buying. Let's just get it. Let's just see. Kind of like the other Bull Brummels. But I've seen a lot of people talk about them. And if you don't know about someone, well, why not just buy an album if it's not too bad and see if you like it or not. My philosophy of record collecting. Okay, there we have it. Thank you everyone for dropping in. I really do appreciate it. Just been a great week. I'm in Puerto Rico. I got to go home Monday. Damn it. Damn it. It really wasn't even bad weather where I live. You know, when you come down here, you always want to snow in the States. Then you just feel good about yourself. You send out pictures. Really, it's snowing? Look what I have. So it's pretty good. Thanks everyone for dropping by. Really appreciate it. Enjoy your week. Yeah, enjoy your week, I guess. Okay, I'm going to enjoy mine. I can fly back. Bye.